So I was 7. And I don't remember who I was with. I seem to recall my dad was probably there, and I don't know who else. That's the only thing I'm certain of, that my dad was there. I was 7 years old. I was visiting him. As I had since I was like 4. I don't know, 3, 4, 2, no. I do have memories all the way back. I moved around so much, okay? This is all backstory, way back to the beginning with this sequence of DNA. That's the research. This sequence of DNA came into existence, and I remember the neighborhood when I was 1. Because we only lived there until I was like 1.5, maybe. I remember the names of my 2 best friends, or they were the neighbors' kids. I remember the parents' names, and the 2 boys' names that were roughly my age and my sister's age. Okay, bits of information getting out. I have a sister. Anyway, there's plenty of stories to tell. This is the introduction. It was like the beginning of telling my personal history. An ongoing segment. Who knows how long? I mean, this one will go on forever, sure. My personal history. I don't know. Am I able to be interesting? Just with the words coming out of my mouth. And occasionally some visuals. All right. This story, I was 7 years old. On one of my, I don't know which visit to my father since he moved to this part of the country, but I have memory before this moment, but this is the moment that my life went in a very specific direction, at least in my mind, like what my mind was set on from that moment. So it was a seminal moment. It was like, what happened when I was 7? For me not to remember a bunch of details, but I just remember going in and coming out the other side. Coming out the other side different. Over here, I was a 7-year-old boy, wondering what I was, enjoying every second, every moment, but not sure. Well, maybe I was sure. I just didn't realize I would have to explain it. Yeah, that's it. I was sure that I was happy with what I was. I was enjoying whatever I was. And then circumstances in life kind of change. You don't enjoy as much anymore, but you still enjoy a lot. You have things that are painful. But I digress. I'll get emotional. Okay, this is good. I'm glad I'm getting emotional because it's honest me. And people will think, wait, he's crazy because he's crying. Well, no, I'm actually self-reflecting and self-editing simultaneously. Jeez. So learning how to control the words come out of my mouth in public, because that is the goal of this research study. Yeah, it's one of them. I mean, there's many objectives with this, but all right. So I baited you. What is this thing that happened? When he was 7, he goes on tangents, and we'll even remember. Well, yes, because that's the subject of this segment. And maybe it'll happen a lot. Maybe I'll get the suspense will just be killing you. Well, something I meant to talk about yesterday. I'll mention it quickly here. There are only certain audiences that will consume. There are not many at first, right? But somebody will be interested, and that person will share it, and maybe somebody they share it with will be interested. There's probability there. I don't know if you could calculate it, but as this thing keeps going and different things keep happening, maybe more interesting stuff happens. You just keep, every now and then somebody will share it. Just see how organically, if this goes anywhere at all. But there will be some, and that's who I'm speaking to, the listeners. Some will hear it and want to listen to more. They'll want more, I guess. I mean, it doesn't matter how big of a number that is. It's just like, oh, there's somebody out there that is seeing what I'm seeing, hearing what I'm hearing. I mean, I'm not taking credit for these words. It's like, I mean, there's that possibility that this is all scripted and some kind of scam. This guy's not telling the truth. He's just trying to get you to listen. But that's not actually, I mean, I could see that as potentially, maybe that will happen. There's a likelihood that will happen at some point. And that's what you do in a research study, make predictions. I'm just basing this on logic. There's a logic, and I'm gonna maybe finish this segment, and we'll get on with that dialogue later. All right. Oh, and I forgot to mention. Oh, surprise on day 2, Tuesday. All these tangents, you just get used to it, but you'll get information if you keep listening. There's an email address. So this second file is the first time the email address will be uttered for anyone. So that's Tuesday, I guess. HereGoesNothing at talesoftruth.com. Here goes nothing at talesoftruth.com. Here goes.